If you thought you were excited a couple of minisodes ago, then you must not be ready for this, because now we are getting ready. Let's talk about what to do 6 weeks out from your last frost, right here on the Backyard Gardens Podcast, Minisode.
To have a good harvest, one must plant good seeds and must also use the right kind of fertilizer. The carrots have grown large and firm. How good they will taste.
Welcome to the Backyard Gardens Podcast, where we talk about all things gardening and give the information out for you to be successful in your garden, whether it's your first or your last. We are your hosts, Ben, the Backyard Gardener, and
Batavia, the Front Yard Gardener.
one in the country,
One in the city.
Now get ready as we dig deep into this wonderful world of gardening, as we learn to grow and grow for change. All right, Batavia, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to let you run the show on this one.
Testing.
Go.
1, 2, 3. It just occurred to me. I said, wait, is this thing recording? Maybe I've just been talking into it. All right, 6 weeks out. This is where we're getting into warmer weather, right? This is the time you can do it now, right? It's warmer weather crops we're thinking about. So these are your tomatoes. You should have already started your peppers. If you haven't already, last chance dance. But I'm going to focus on tomatoes because they're my favorite, right? So you're starting those seeds as you would any other. We've already walked you through your seed starting mix. We've walked you through some recommendations when it comes to your setup. This is the recommendation when it comes to tomatoes. Don't start more than you really need, right? Learn from me.
Spoken from experience from somebody.
I'm all for start a few if you're going to plant a few, and maybe start a couple more, and that's fine.
Well, hold on. Why start so many?
Why do I start so many?
Yeah, in general, like what was your thought process behind that?
So for the record, and those that don't recall, I think it was 72 is what I started, and then 60 made it through to the potting up phase. And I started so many because most of my seed starting containers had like 6 sales or 4 sales. And then I was panicked about what would really live. So I wanted to make sure that I had enough of everything, right?
Yeah, you were worried about the survival rate.
Yeah.
And really, I think a lot of times it's germination rates. So,
lesson learned.
So generally, a lot of them germinate.
Yeah.
You
basically like everything germinated.
Yeah. So when you plant these, do you plant one per seed cell or do you do multiples?
For tomatoes, I generally did 1 per seed cell because I knew going in I had a bunch. So other things, like if I have a package of seeds that aren't, some of these peppers only give you 15 seeds per package. And so in those cases, I'm kind of skimpy with it. I don't double up. But for tomato plants, since you get a bunch of seeds, I use 1 per cell. It is recommended in a lot of places, not every, but a lot of places that you sow multiple seeds, because if one doesn't germinate, you haven't wasted that space. But I did want to get to the part about starting those seeds same way as ever. But what I noticed last year, as my first year out starting tomato seeds and many others indoors, I noticed that everything looked fine, germinated fine, got their true leaves. Everything seemed to kind of be moving slow. Remember, it's 6 weeks. We're a couple of weeks in. Things are looking good. As soon as I potted those bad boys up, though, took off to the point where I was like, damn it, I need to get these things outside. So keep that in mind when it comes to the space you'll need. Some of your heat-loving plants, which is a little bit different than that cool weather stuff, right? These things, They get bigger, and these things want to be warm when they go outside, though. So that's why we're here talking about it at 6 weeks, not 10 weeks.
Yeah. And so, but so first of all, I'm pretty upset with you right now.
Why is that?
Because you're showing tomatoes too much damn love. There's other things to grow.
This is true. Well, it's a little bit too early to do things like, I know most people direct sow cucumbers. It's too early to do those, though.
What about eggplants?
I think you should have done eggplants 2 weeks before now.
Last call for eggplants.
All right.
Last call for eggplants, okay?
Last call for eggplants. Last call for your, just when summer's arriving, peppers
All
too.
peppers. All types of peppers.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else would I start inside right now.
You don't start squash indoors, but I've always planted squash as starter plants, as transplants. So I started them last year indoors. This is where some of the other tips from the other minisodes come into play as well, because these things grow fast. They're going to need to be fed,
Yeah.
6
I
weeks
wouldn't
sounds
put
like
them
a
in the
short
ground
period
yet.
of time, but go ahead.
I wouldn't plant them inside yet.
For
6 weeks out for like squash. And stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Them bitches will get big. They'll start taking over your house in 6 weeks.
This is also a time to start some flowers inside too. Hey, hey, ho, ho. That's the way
Now,
to go.
you finally took the bait.
Oh, is that right?
Thank you.
Look, I came to it like a brand new idea. Like, wait a minute,
did.
light bulb. Everyone's like, flowers.
I could hear him know. What about my zinnias? and really, truth be told, it's actually getting late to start flowers.
Well, some of them, like marigolds, are quick starts. And they get out there real quick. You can put them out there smaller. But yeah, there's some other flowers that get bigger that do want to have. Last call though. If we're doing eggplants, we're doing some flowers too.
Yeah. Why not?
If you got the room.
And think about it this way. Like, you're like, oh, it's going to run out late. I mean, get my eggplant out there. It's too late to start it. So even if you start it now and you're starting what we're going to call last call seeds and stuff like that, even if you have to set it out a week or two later, just imagine if you stuck that seed in the ground, what you would get. So don't hesitate, man. Don't bullshit.
Yeah.
Don't mess around and get, too far behind on that. Like, so what? Take a chance. Start a seed. See what happens. But it's also a good time to be direct sowing. Ooh. Oh, snap. Does that mean... hey, look. Minisodes, short bell.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, sure.
So,
wait, before we direct sow, though, can I just drop I've read everywhere it's recommended to direct sow okra. But again, I've only had okra as transplants. So
I've had both. Where I am, I can direct sow. Where you are, I would not direct sow.
6 weeks out, get those okra seeds in there.
I direct sowed mine last year. My plants were, 9 feet tall.
Yeah.
But if I were you, I would just, especially
Start
like in a colder
inside.
climate. Yeah. So now direct sowing, I would direct sow everything that you had planted 4 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. It should be getting ready to go outside soon. You're starting to see things grow and get big. So you can start thinking about, depending on your weather now. Now, if you're staying well below freezing, it's not time. But if the ground's workable.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. Snow peas.
I can't believe you gave us that much dead air at the delivery with snow peas.
You have to watch the video to get the dead air.
Yeah, man.
I was doing the countdown.
I'm watching and I'm not that impressed. But okay, go ahead.
Damn it, Batavia.
No bail.
You're going to be
shall
sidelined
rain.
with Leonard. That's what's going to happen. You and Leonard are now. That's it.
I'm just saying. I have a sorted pass with snow peas.
I'll look for my apology letter in the mail next week. Thanks.
Okay, all right.
So
wait till they see it. They're going to be like, they're going to fall flat. Yeah.
No. So
snow peas,
So snow peas, yes. And so you're getting ready to get these other plants out. So it's time to start looking at what you've started and see, can you direct sow these at the same time that you put in the ground so you can have succession planting and have a continuous harvest. So that's what I say about direct sowing right now. It's still a little early to be putting stuff right in the ground, but
So for me, let's look at my handy dandy chart. 6 weeks out for me, my date is somewhere around mid-March.
okay.
So yeah, that is pretty early. Probably appropriate for snow peas. Hey, how did that come back around?
Is it?
I think so. Yeah, just direct sow.
See you there. You was trying to be sassy about it. Now look at you,
okay.
trying
I can still
to
be.
have you some snow peas.
And here we are, right back to where we started.
Yeah, we are full circle. So, yeah, and I would be getting. You should have your seeds by now. I would also, right now is a good time to start thinking about what you might want to direct sow in the future too, so you can kind of make sure you have those, because seeds, shipping times and stuff are really slow in these days. So,
but guess what? A lot of your stores in their seed sections, their garden sections, they're going to have a good selection of seeds by then.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and some will even have some transplants available at this point. Want to make sure that they're going to be ones that are going to enjoy this cool weather. This is actually a good note, and I'm just going to go ahead and take advantage of it, whether or not it's for this Minisode or not. Be careful about buying transplants from stores, starter plants from stores, if they're not ready to go into the ground. Again, 6 weeks out, right? Some of us are still pretty cool. I wouldn't say buy transplants, bring them home, and continue to nurse them indoors. Save those dollars until you're actually ready to get them into the ground.
Well, if you get them and they're already outside at the store, and because what they'll do at the store is they'll move them in and out.
Yep.
They'll put them out during the day and at night. Especially like in your area where it gets really cold, I would fully imagine they do that. Or they'll cover them or something like that. So if you take them from outside and then you bring them in, you're like, oh, it's too cold. You can continue to do the same thing they have, but if you bring it in and stick it under your grow light, you're going to shock it. And so then you're going to stun its growth, and you don't want to do that. So, grow stuff under row covers if you have it. That's a different story. But just outside and God's green earth, like I would be cautious and just know what your weather is going to be, because this is still the time frame where like you're getting really close, but it can still get really cold everywhere. Like even where I am, I mean, I can still easily have a below freezing day. So,
and keep in mind that these, while older plants, more mature plants, can take a, kind of a cold snap. Like you can take some precautions. Once you get to the point where these things are these young tender things, they have a hard time. What, you're gonna sing it for me?
Pretty young thing.
PYT. They have a hard time bouncing back from that shock like you described. You just want to be careful of changing the environment for that plant without taking some precaution. Remember the whole thing about hardening off? That's a part of that reason, right? You're changing that environment. Baby steps.
I mean, if you take a seedling, let's say each week is equal to a year in human life.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. So if your seedling is 4 weeks old, that's 4 years old. You wouldn't stick a 4-year-old out there like that, right?
Well, I'm not a parent, so can I really be trusted? Of course I would not. Not your 4-year-old, not my neighbor's 4-year-old.
You could stick David out there, but he'd be like, Miss Batavia, go ahead and open the door. All right, everybody. It's that time. It is time. You made it to the point to where you can start everybody's favorite summer vegetable, except for mine, tomatoes. So, amongst other things, as we have described. So,
here.
Thank you. Wear a mask. Be safe. And until next time, join us on another Minisode.
Oh, what? Too soon? See ya? We'll still see ya.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you want to see what we're up to or just stay up to date on all the announcements regarding the show or anything gardening, then you can follow us on Instagram at Backyard Gardens TV.
We love seeing what you guys are doing, so use hashtag BYG Podcast in your posts, and we'll be sharing your gardens with the Backyard Gardens community.
And check us out on YouTube at Backyard Gardens, where we will post this show, all of our other shows, clips, and then also some gardening tips and just gardening entertainment. And you can see us at our website at backyardgardenstv.com. But that's it for today's show. So help us as we learn to grow and grow for change. And until next time, we'll catch you guys later. We'll call this one a wrap.
Now you know why people feel like celebrating at harvest time.
All over the world, people have feasting and good times when the crops have been gathered in.